Today we're going to show you how to make no-cook Play-Doh. This is a fun activity that you can do with kids, and because it's a no-cook version, older kids can actually do this on their own. You only need a few things from the kitchen, like flour, salt, cream of tartar, some food coloring, water, and some oil. And you can use canola oil, vegetable oil, or you can even use baby oil. And today we're going to use baby oil because we like the smell. You need a few things from the kitchen, like a couple of bowls, one for your wet ingredients and one for your dry ingredients, a whisk and spoon, and then a few measuring cups too, and a few measuring spoons. We're going to get started. In this bowl, my little assistant Ava is going to mix my ingredients. So we have flour, and that's 1 cup of flour, and a half a cup of salt, and then 1 teaspoon of cream of tartar. And then once they get mixed up, we can just set these aside. And then we're going to mix up our wet ingredients. In here, we're going to add a half a cup of water, a tablespoon of oil, and the recipe calls for 4 drops of food coloring, but we're actually going to add 6 because we're trying for a brighter color. 4, 5, 6, and whisk those together. Now it is easiest to add your dry ingredients to your wet ingredients. So while Ava's mixing, I'm going to sprinkle in our dry mix, and she's going to keep stirring. Yep. And after a little while, it's going to start to get hard to mix with the whisk, and at this point, kids are going to love it because they can get in there with their hands and get a little messy. So if you want, you can use your hands. And you're going to keep mixing this until you have a nice dough. And you want to make sure you scrape the sides so your flour gets mixed in there good. And sometimes you'll need to add either a little flour or water at the end. In case if it's a little too sticky, you're going to sprinkle in a little extra flour. If it's dry and crumbly, you're going to want to sprinkle in or dribble in just a little bit of water at a time until you're getting a nice tight, like a bread dough. If you're not really familiar with bread dough, then it's sticky enough that it sticks together, but not so sticky that it actually sticks to your hands or your counter or anything like that. And so it looks like we have just the right amount of flour and water. So we can work it with our hands for a little bit and see how it's not sticking to my hands. That's good. And kind of fold it together so everything gets really mixed well. And at this point, you can actually play with your dough if your kids want to. Or if you're going to store it, you're going to want to store this in a Ziploc bag. And because it's a no-cook version, the best place to store it is in the fridge so it doesn't dry out. And that's how you make no-cook Play-Doh. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoy learning how to make no-cook Play-Doh.